Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of my lower level football management career with Widzew Lodz. Widzew is actually a second division team in Poland, so it's the third tier of football. Um, Decided to go with Poland. Poland's always a country that's really interested me, and Polish football is complicated and interesting. So Widzew Lodz, a little bit about the team. Two-star rep, second according to the media prediction. Capacity of the stadium is 18,000. It was recently built. I know that. Um, like I said, a lot of history at this club. Founded in 1910. Um, so actually, this team was in the got relegated all the way down to the Polish fourth division in I believe 2015-16 due to financial issues, and they've slowly risen back up, and now they're in the second division. Um, a very successful club in the 80s. A lot of club legends. You might know players like Bonik, Schmolarik, Shmuda, and they actually made it to the semifinals in 82 and 83 of the Champions League, where they eventually lost out to Juventus. And funny story about that is Bonik actually transferred to Juventus that season, so he beat his old club. So players, we'll go through this a little later. I'm familiar with a couple of these guys. Let's see here. Club vision, club culture. Signed players under the age of 23 for the first team. Should be easy if we working within the wage budget. Win promotion end of the season, and eventually reach the first division playoffs next year. Eventually gaining promotion to the extra class in 2023-2024. I think we can actually get that a little bit sooner if we play it right. All right, so let's take a look at our squad, see what it's about, see if there's any good players. Before we do this, actually, let's see if there's any players that should. Oh, here we go, Philip. Let's move him up to the first squad. Right. Ribski. Unknown. Great. All right, well, let's take a look at the squad again here. Mateusz Możden used to play for Lech Poznan. Not sure how he ended up at Widzew, but yeah, solid player. Rudol, Christopher Mandego. He's got some pace. Too bad he can't cross the ball. Could be of use to us. Filip Mihailovic, decent. Zedler Kozakiewicz, Kita Volansky, and Pavlovsky. Pavlovsky, wow. I remember when he got transferred to Udinese about 10 years ago. He was supposed to be an up and coming goalkeeper. Looks like nothing really happened to him. He's probably his most famous thing that's ever been out about him was that YouTube video of when he got introduced to Udinese. Uh, they introduced him to the club, and the translator there only spoke English and Italian. So Pavlovsky was forced to speak in English, and let's just say his English is really not that great. Pretty awkward interview. If you want to cringe, go watch that. We've got some decent young players here. It looks like Gutovsky, 20. Seems all right. Radvansky, Michael Amia. I believe he's at African descent and Polish roots. Looks like a decent player. Might be able to develop him this year. Marcel Piszczek. Yeah, he's another decent player. I believe he plays on the Polish U19 team. Potentially develop this guy some. Let's take a look here. Yeah, played 26 games last year. Cool. Look to develop him as well. Oh, Robak, club legend. He used to play for Widzew and he moved around a little bit. really big goal scoring guy in extra class. And never really took off abroad when he went. I believe he went to Turkey. Let's take a look. Yeah, he did a brief spell in Turkey. Never nothing really came about of it, and he came back to the extra class. Lots of goals though. He's definitely a good goal scorer. He could be of some use to us, despite the age, 36. Might be able to get a season out of him, possibly two if we're lucky. Definitely, if we make it to the extra class, we'll have to cut him loose. He won't be much use when he's that old. Daniel Maka, another nice little veteran player. Played for Polonia Warsaw. Yeah, 17 goals. That was in the third division. Yeah, nice little veteran player to go along with Robach. Um, let's take a look at our depth. I like this formation. Go for some like this, most likely what we'll play. Yeah, so rollback, like we suggested, would probably be our staple up front with Rafael Volszynski. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of the names. I don't speak any Polish. Trying to do my best here. Yeah, he's decent. Let's see, wingers, the German guy with African descent with literally no crossing, and then Michael Emiya. He'll be another good player that will look to develop on the other wing. And Mojden will obviously will be probably the star of the team. Have him in the mid, maybe Zedler. Also Gutovsky, I might look to develop him instead of the German guy here on the left. As for the center, we're probably looking to bring in another central mid. Looks a little weak in that area. Pichek, definitely look to develop him on the left. Center mids, Rudol, Tangina, decent stats. So those two look to be the starters. Might bring in maybe a backup for injuries purposes. And Kojakevich, solid little right back. And of course the goalies will be good there. So I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, probably bring another mid and then another defender. Now let's take a look at the squad dynamics here. Wow, great. Abysmal team cohesion. The dressing room atmosphere is poor. Managerial support, very good. So it looks like we got a little bit of work to do inside the dressing room here. So Robach, of course, the team leader since he's the oldest player and a veteran. Volansky, highly influential. Interesting. Well, so I think what we'll do is I'll go through the transfers, see if I can pick up any players, and then play the friendlies, and then we'll start our season off. I'll be back with you shortly. All right, so played through about a month here. Let's just go over what I've done so far. In terms of transfers, I've brought in Goran Janovic. Looks pretty solid so far. All his stats are declining, but like I said, we've got to fill up a void there at the midfield, and this guy might be able to get it done. But in the friendlies we've played, he hasn't looked too great, so this might have be a dud transfer. We'll see. Uh, Brought in Nasser Yedinik, just a backup CB. Um, not great, not terrible. And brought in Michał Białek. Looked like he had some okay potential. Probably not. We'll see. Also brought in Piotr Radoshevich. He's got some decent stats. Be a decent backup. Irvin Kvashniak. Uh, Another player with some potential. We'll see. Probably play in the second team. And then Michał Zebka, player with decent potential. Might be able to develop him going forward. We'll see again. I mean, in terms of transfers, there's really not a lot out there. In terms of outgoing transfers, I haven't really done anything, but um, based on the squad, I'm probably can cut Christopher Mendigu off. He's getting paid a little bit too much for the team, and his stats really not that impressive. And the games I've put him in the friendly, 6.47 rating, really not seeing much out of him to be honest. So definitely a player we get a little bit of money for. Uh, we'll see, but definitely he'd be on the cutting block so far. Um, Based on the friendlies I've played, I've been playing a 4-2-3-1. Had some decent success. The first game I played was against Sigma, which is a Czech first division team. I mean, we looked awful. 1-1 is a bit generous, to be honest. We were getting dominated for much of the game. The second game I played looked a little better against Tihe, the first division team. It was 2-0, and yeah, it was pretty decent. Then we played Odra. 4-2 was a little shootout. Roback with 2 goals. Gutovsky, Maka. We looked terrible in the second half. We couldn't get anything going, so it was decent. Third game I played was against, fourth game, excuse me, was against Varta Poznan. Gutovsky, and guess who? Amiya scored. Stomil, 1-3-1. Guess who scored again? Michael Amiya, 2 goals. Mojden with the other. And we play against Womza. Uh, 2 goals, 2-0. Mihalik and Volstinsky. And the last game I played really wasn't very good at all, but we got it done. 1-0. And Michael Amiya with another goal. This guy was probably the star of the preseason. I mean, 6 games, 5 goals, 1 assist, player of the game 3 times, 7.57 rating. This guy could potentially be a breakout star. And it's funny because earlier it showed that he was Polish. Now he's Ghanaian. Interesting. I don't know why that changed. But yeah, so I think we're ready for the season. I've got the squad pretty much set up. Uh, Other notable things that happened: Rollback got a little bit of a leg injury, so he didn't play a couple of the preseason games. I don't think he's going to be fully fit for our first game against Torun. Uh, and Jakub Miko Lijak, not fully fit either. So let's take a look. So today is our first game of the season. We'll be playing Alana Torun. Don't think they have much for in terms of players anyway. Yeah, don't recognize many of these names, if at all. I think this should be it for now. So on the next episode, we'll jump right into our first game of the season. Thanks for watching.